Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight's story, The Embassy. Out of the infinitude of stars and planets in the solar system and other systems in the universe, it is almost mathematically certain that other forms of life exist on other worlds. Someday, in the future, in 1,000 years, or in the next 25 minutes, daring travelers through space will make contact with the inhabitants of another world. But the question is, will we contact them first, or will they contact us? A private detective agency in downtown New York.
Mr. Graffius, Mr. Broderick will see you.
Well, what can I do for you?
My name is Graffius of Springfield. I would like your assistance in helping me locate a Martian embassy.
Would you say that again very slowly?
I came to New York to locate the Martian embassy.
I assume you were joking.
On the contrary, I am completely serious. As it happens, I am interested only in Martians at the moment.
I see. Okay, shoot.
Well, it occurred to me in the course of my studies that we, Earth people, cannot possibly be the only intelligent form of life in the universe. Since Mars is older geologically, and since it is also an atmospheric planet, its evolutionary history could easily be similar to ours. Do you follow me?
Well, so far, I can't say no.
If this is true, then they must have been watching us, observing us for hundreds, possibly thousands of years. They also know we are a militaristic, warlike race. We might conceivably set out to conquer and occupy Mars someday.
In which case, they would try to get the jump on us.
Ah, precisely, Mr. Broderick. Now, if you were planning to attack an unknown nation, what would be your first move, Mr. Broderick?
Well, intelligence. Find out what the odds are.
Oh, you have a very logical mind, sir. You would send agents to scout the nerve centers of earthly civilization and advancement. Not Kansas City or Equatorial Africa, my dear sir, but here, in New York, the most technically advanced spot on the earth.
And you want me to help you prove this theory of yours?
Precisely. The expense doesn't interest me.
Well, now, this may take a long, long time, Mr. Graffius. After all, nobody has ever seen the Martian.
I assure you they will be very ordinary-appearing people. Mm-hmm. Very likely they live together in downtown New York. Most certainly they live in a private house with no servants to pry in their affairs.
Oh, some ordinary people who live in a private house in downtown New York. I might just as well look up Martians in the classified section of the phone book.
There's one other lead which might help you.
What's that?
They would be almost certain to subscribe to every conceivable type of newspaper, scientific journal, and foreign language publication.
Well, now, that might be something. Okay, Mr. Graffius, it's a deal.
Excellent. I shall contact you tomorrow.
Boss, here's an address. Takes everything from Pick Magazine to the Manchester Guardian. Here, listen to this here. Pick, Look, Scientific America, the Daily News, Daily Worker, the Police Gazette, Journal of Engineering, a Scientific Quarterly, American Psychiatric Journal.
Let me see that.
Yeah.
Oh, Doolin. Sometimes I wonder, what is the address on this?
Well, it's 9 West 124th Street.
Which happens to be the Harlem branch of the New York Public Library.
Oh.
Now listen, Noodlebrain, what we're looking for is a private
Oh,
house.
boss, what is the sense of all this? You know there ain't no Martian embassy in New York.
This crackpot is paying us $100 a day, and we got to keep him happy. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Also, I have a hunch that Mr. Graffius is not looking for any Martian embassies. He is looking for something quite different. So we are going to find it for him. Which house is it, Doolin?
It's right down there, number 108. Nobody comes out, nobody goes in. I asked around.
You haven't been blabbing around the neighborhood that we're looking for the Martian embassy, have you?
Boss, I'm stupid, but I ain't that stupid.
Who'd you talk to?
I struck up what you might call a casual acquaintanceship with those two girls standing with the baby carriages up the street. That cute one is real cute.
Look, Doolin, don't try to do anything intelligent, all right? Just keep walking up and down, see?
Check.
I'm going back to the office to meet Graffius.
I'll see you later, boss. Hiya, beautiful.
Hiya, Flatfoot.
Name is Doolin, honey. Iron Man Doolin.
Your line is getting rusty, Iron Man.
So help me, honey. If I'm feeding you a line, may the heavens open up and strike me dead. Hey, what's that?
Look out!
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Graffius.
Thank you.
But I've had Doolin casing our first lead for a week now. It's a house down in Greenwich Village, privately rented, number 108 Conklin Street. Nobody seems to know anything about who lives there, except that they subscribe to every paper and scientific journal put out. Also, there's a radio antenna on the roof.
Oh, you don't suppose your Mr. Doolin will try to get inside the house? If this place is the Martian embassy...
No, don't worry. Doolin can take care of himself. I'll stop with him now. Excuse me. Hello. Yeah, speaking. Doolin? Yeah, he works for me. What? No. No, I can't think of any. Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll be right down. Okay, Lieutenant, yeah. Yeah, right away.
Something the matter?
Doolin is dead, Mr. Graffius. All right, come on, we get a cab. I have to identify the body. Lieutenant, I'm Broderick.
There's your boy, Broderick.
Anybody see it?
A maid pushing a baby carriage. We can't seem to get any sense out of her.
You mind if I talk to her?
Hanson, this guy wants to ask the girl a few questions.
Please, I told you what I saw. How many times I gotta tell you?
Look, miss, the dead man was a personal friend of mine. Would you tell me what happened?
Helen and I were standing in front of Rackman's candy store up on the corner. We both had the babies out. He said hello and joked a little. Then he...
What happened?
It's too awful.
No, please.
Well, first he squashed, and then the stone fell on him.
Could you repeat that?
They don't believe me, but Helen saw it too.
Saw what?
First he squashed, and then it fell on him. He was mashed flat before it even hit him.
Now, look.
That's the story, Broderick.
Please, let me alone. Let me go home. I told you what I saw. Now let me alone. Let me alone.
Did you learn anything, Mr. Broderick?
I don't know.
May I ask, what do you intend doing?
Well, as soon as the cops clear out and this place quiets down, little Broderick is going to pay a personal call on the Martian embassy. Or whatever number 108 is. Excuse me, ma'am, is the lady of the house at home?
I'm the lady of the house.
Oh, well, my name is Broderick. I represent the Manhattan Child Adoption Center. We're soliciting funds and clothing for stranded and unadopted children. I
Won't
wondered
you
if...
come inside?
Well, we don't. Usually
Oh, nonsense. I'm old enough to be your grandmother. Besides, my son Lauren is working at home.
Your son?
Oh, he's a bibliographer. He writes summaries of articles and books from scientific journals and publications for libraries and universities.
Oh, I see.
Sit down, Mr. Broderick. Let me pour you a cup of tea.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know, I'm not much of a tea drinker, but it seems to have a strange taste.
Oh, it's my own recipe.
Uh-huh. Well, I think that I'd better be running along
but
now.
You haven't finished your tea, Mr. Broderick.
No, really, I feel a little funny.
I'll call Lauren.
No. It's all right, I'm leaving. I just feel kind of dizzy.
Well, I'm sure Lauren would like to hear about the adoption center. I'll call him.
No, don't
but I must. Besides, you aren't well.
Tea.
Lauren!
I've got to get out.
Lauren! Lauren, hurry!
Look out. You get out of my way.
No. You must stay.
Yes, Mother.
You drugged my tea. You let go of my arm.
Lauren!
Let go!
No! Oh!
I've got to get out the front door. Open.
What happened?
The other one, that Broderick, he was here. I drugged his tea.
He got away?
He was suspicious.
Fool! Idiot!
Go after him.
Risk another murder on our doorstep. Are you insane?
But he suspects.
Well, we'll have to take our chances. We'll have to think of some other way.
If he goes to the authorities...
Oh, they'll laugh at him.
How did they find out?
I don't know how. But I'm certain someone else sent them.
Who?
I don't know. I'm afraid to let myself think. It might be. It just might be them.
I've got to get help. Oh.
Look out!
Miss, please.
All right, miss, we'll take care of them. Come along, mister. I'm going to give you a break and take you back to the wife and kids.
No, you can't. I'm sick.
Sick, is it? What's the matter?
I'm drugged. They drugged me.
Who drugged you?
In number 108, the Martians.
Who?
The Martians in 108 at Martian Embassy.
Well, I've seen them with pink elephants, rabbits, and mice, but you're the first one that's got Martians.
No, it's true, I tell you.
Come along.
Listen, don't take me back there. They'll kill me. I've got to make you understand.
Here, I'll help you up the steps.
What? Listen, my name is Broderick. I'm a private dick.
We'll find out about this.
No.
Here, don't try any tricks.
Officer, listen, please. I'll give you anything, $1,000, but please, listen. For God's sake, listen.
Yes, officer? Why, Broderick.
You know this lush, Granny?
Oh, why, that's my son, Broderick.
No, she's Martian.
He's in pretty bad shape. You better get him to bed.
Oh, dear, and he was doing so well at the Alcoholic Society. He must have gotten off again.
Looks like he's ready to pass out.
Lauren!
What is it, Mother? Oh, Brod.
Your brother Broderick has been drinking again.
No, officer, please.
Look out. He's passed out.
Oh, I'll take care of him, officer. We've handled this sort of thing before.
Can you manage okay?
We'll be fine. Thank you.
Oh, you've been very kind, officer.
Nothing at all, Granny. I know how it is with these alkies. Well, I'll be seeing you.
Martian Embassy. Martian. Oh, my head.
Our Mr. Broderick is regaining consciousness, Mother.
What happened? I can't get up. Oh.
Do not struggle, Mr. Broderick. It will be impossible for you to rise from that chair. The pressure from this ray will keep you there.
Ray? Who are you?
Well, you've already guessed, Mr. Broderick.
You mean this really is the
Martian embassy? Yes. Yes, you have the honor to be the first prisoner of the Imperial Government of Mars.
First prisoner?
Yes. After the invasion, of course, you will all be our prisoners.
What sort of nonsense is this?
No nonsense, Mr. Broderick. As your people will soon find out. Our preparations for invasion are nearly completed now. As soon as we give the signal, our armed forces will launch a surprise attack. And then the Earth will be ours.
You're crazy.
Or not half as mad as you, Mr. Broderick, to come muddling so foolishly into our affairs. It was a mistake, Mr. Broderick. A fatal mistake.
So Doolan's death was no accident, then, huh?
Oh, assuredly not. We found it necessary to use a pressure ray on your friend. The block of concrete was an afterthought. We thought it might help to divert suspicion.
All right. So what happens now?
If you cooperate, you can look forward to a quick, painless death. Like your friend, Mr. Doolan.
If not?
Well, this pressure ray has many delicate adjustments. It can move a pin, or it can crush a boulder. Let me demonstrate. You see, Mr. Broderick, as if an invisible vice were crushing you.
What do you want?
The name of your client. We are interested in knowing who is so anxious to locate the Martian embassy.
The names of my clients are confidential.
Well?
All right. All right.
Turn it off, Mother. Mr. Broderick has seen the wisdom of speech.
His name is Graphius.
Graphius?
Yes.
An unusual name for an Earthman.
Describe him.
Well, I don't think I really can.
Describe him.
He's tall. The big forehead. It's about 60. Wears thick glasses. He's bald.
Lauren, it sounds like one of them.
Yes. Yes, it does. Contact the planet. Tell them we suspect that our plans are known. Ask for an acceleration of the invasion day.
At once.
What about me?
Oh, I am sorry, Mr. Broderick. But I'm afraid you know too much now. In exactly 5 seconds, you will feel the full impact of the ray which faces you. I would suggest that you relax and meet your fate calmly.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
You will feel no pain, just a wall of force crushing you.
Yes, but listen.
5.
But you can't do this.
4.
It isn't human.
Yes, I know we're not human. 3.
Yes, but do you understand?
2.
No.
1.
Mother in heaven.
Now.
No.
Lauren!
It didn't work.
Something has happened. The magnetic field is dead.
Stand back from the pressure ray, please. It will not function anyway. I have decontrolled your field.
Lauren! Lauren, it's one of them. They found us.
Did you think we wouldn't? You are free to move now, Mr. Broderick.
Look, I don't know how you got in here, Graphius, but stick around. These babies are really Martians, just like you said. They're planning to invade the Earth and take over.
There will be no invasion.
All right, you keep these characters covered. I'll get the police.
There will be no need for the police. I intend to handle them myself.
But, Graphius, the police will want
Do
to...
not call the police.
I don't get it.
You fool of an Earthling. Don't you realize with whom you are dealing? The invasion of Earth by Mars will be like child's play compared with what...
Lauren! Oh!
Holy mackerel. They just flattened out.
Yeah, like your friend, Mr. Doolin. Oh, I detest the use of violence where the intellect can rule. But unfortunately, the Martians are a threat to us and must be destroyed so that we can proceed with our own plans.
What plans?
Naturally, you wouldn't comprehend.
Wait a minute. There are some things here that I do understand. A second ago, that pressure ray didn't work. Now you're using it like it was a toy. How did you get in here, anyway? Who are you? Another one of these Martians?
No, Mr. Broderick. I happen to be a Venusian.
A what?
A representative of the planet of Venus.
You're crazy.
Not at all. Martian invasion would be like child's play compared to ours. The Martians would simply have conquered and enslaved your people. We Venusians intend to exterminate you completely.
And I suppose that you were going to start by knocking me off now,
On the contrary, you are free to leave any time you please.
Leave?
Yes?
Are you kidding? I know your plans, the invasion. I could go...
Tell the police? Go ahead. Huh? Why don't you try it, Broderick?
Because the minute I turn my back, you're going to let me have it.
Suppose you try it and see. I have no interest in stopping you. Go ahead. Run to the police. Tell them anything you like.
All right, Buster, you asked for this. I'm alive. You let me go.
Here. Where do you think you're running to?
Officer, listen to me.
Oh, it's you again. The one with the Martians.
Listen, that story is true. You've got to believe me. You've absolutely got to believe me. They're inside that house, inside number 108. He killed them.
Who killed him?
Graphius, the leader of the Venusian invasion.
Venusian invasion.
Look, they're going to take over the Earth. Listen to me. Go in that house.
Martians, now Venusians. Okay, brother, I've heard enough. Your Betty is a bedbug. Come along.
Please, where are you taking me?
Bellevue Psychiatric Ward, my friend. Come on.
Oh, but you...
Come along.
You don't understand. Why are you such a fool? Let go of me. There's going to be an invasion. The Venusians are going to invade us. Why don't you listen to me? Why don't you listen?
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you The Embassy by Donald A. Wollheim, adapted for radio by George Lefferts. Featured in the cast were John Larkin, Theo Getz, Bill Zuckert, Audrey Blum, Virginia Payne, Clark Gordon, Jack Orison, and Reese Taylor. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Dan Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
I guess that's my cue. Good morning, weirdos. How are you? I got a cool new shirt. Custom made. Catfish Corner, Lake Elsinore, California. Get them while they're hot. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited about shirts. I sat here last night creating packets to send with the shirts. Donation collection packets, right? So it just hit me. If I'm going to send shirts, I might as well send the necessary information for them to order more shirts through the mail. So last night, put my hat on here, I created these packets to put together. Here's all the elements for the packets. Here is the packet itself. All right, so the lady at the post office lady assured me that I should be able to get 2 shirts in one of these cheap bags and then just tape it up real good. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be folding up my shirts ever so tightly and putting them into these padded bags, these padded envelopes. So I picked up 10 of those. I also picked up 10 self-addressed stamp envelopes. So I put my address on them already, so that they can, and they're stamped, so that they can mail an order back to me. And inside of each one, I'm going to put one of my cards. And what I put together was each packet contains a thank you note and a plea for donation gathering. There is a long form and a short form. The long form is to keep track of all of the donation people, their money, where it goes to, what kind of shirts, what size, what color, that kind of stuff. So that's here. Here is a short form where they can just order, it's 2 pages, where they can just order the shirts. They donate, and then they just choose the size of shirts and the color. And the deal is that if they fill this up with 10 donations of $50 or more each, they get 2 free shirts. They earn themselves a free donation. So I've got this to fill out. I've got a sample filled out. And I did this so that they can have their long form with all the information to who the shirts go to. And here it's just shirts. They can just order, 3 smalls of this one, 2 larges of that one, an extra large of this one, right? And then at some point when we have color choices, they can choose colors. So they can choose color, size, and design. And that's on this one here. And then at the end, we do how much donation money is included down here at the bottom, and then how many shirts total are we ordering, so that I can have an accurate number for ordering. So I put one of these little kits together here, and they're going to go in an envelope here. Now, the envelope is not to put the kit in. The envelope is to send the order form back. That's it. You put the order form in, filled out. You put a return address on this thing. You put a money order in there, and you mail it to me. Simple as that. I'm trying to make this old school simple. Not new school, I'll just fed the money to you. Not that, no, because I can't do that. I'm not going to get rich off of this, so I don't want the money going through my shit. But I think I'm about ready to put that kit together. So what I'll do is I'll just fold it in thirds and then stick it in that envelope, so that when they open up the envelope, they'll see the thank you note. They'll see, okay, well, here's the stuff to order more. Here's this card. I'm going to put a little post-it on each one, thanking the individual personally and letting them know, here's my card. You got any questions about anything, you let me know. Just, I'm available 24/7. So there you go. there we are. We're off and rolling with shirts. It's pretty awesome. This feels uncomfortable having a hat on in the morning. I feel like I'm getting ready to walk out the door. Well, I don't like to do that. I don't like to walk out the door. Ever. Let's see. Yesterday, I didn't do much. I filled out paperwork. I went to the post office. The lady instructed me there that her shit's too expensive. Go to Dollar Tree and get envelopes there. So I went to Dollar Tree. I got big yellow padded envelopes. I went and dropped off my paperwork. Scanned it into the machine. Then I went to the shirts. And very excited about shirts. I hung out for a few minutes. I had to leave because I didn't want to start crying in front of all of those people. But I got out into the car and I was like, okay, take it easy. Take it easy. I know it's happening, but just take it easy. It was supposed to happen, right? So I went to the post office, dropped off my paperwork, got the envelopes, got the shirts, took pictures of me with the girls and the shirts because I'm really excited about their help. I'm hoping that through the shirts that I have now, I've got probably about 12 shirts to get rid of this first batch. We will be going for $50 donations plus shipping and handling. By the end of the week, I should know what shipping and handling is going to cost. So basically, I need to get shirts in the mail to people so that next week, photos start popping up with shirts on people. And those people will have the ability to gather donations on their own via my donation kit. So basically, we have to do it through the mail. We have to. There's no other way to do this. And we have to do this to avoid financial penalties upon me, right? Because I ain't making no bread off of this. The only thing I'm trying to do is gather enough money to put this party together. So, yeah. I did my video time machine yesterday as well. After the shirts, I went by Walmart. I got a couple of large envelopes because some people have multiple orders sent to them. So I did that and got some groceries. Ooh, I got more coffee creamer because I live on coffee in the morning. Came home and had a grilled cheese. I make the best grilled cheese in the world, hands down, bar none. If you like a good grilled cheese, go somewhere else. If you want a fantastic grilled cheese, come to me. Yeah. It is beautiful. Old lungs. What are you going to do, right? Yeah. There we go. That's the ticket there, Cricket. That's the ticket, Cricket. Yeah, baby. Oh, baby. Boy. I was watching Hunter yesterday, Fred Dreyer, Hunter. If you're familiar with the show Cheers, then you remember Fred Dreyer as Sam Malone's ex-baseball buddy who had become a sports announcer. And he was a special sports announcer guy. And he pretty much showed up to rub Sam Malone's face in the fact that he wasn't. And of course, Sam Malone stood in for him a couple of times on the news program that he did the sports for. But Fred Dreyer, he kind of bounced back and forth from Cheers as his show came to life and then got canceled, and then came to life again and then got canceled. So it was an okay show. He was pretty one-dimensional, Fred Dreyer. He was more of a stoic-faced tough guy because he really couldn't act well. And when he did act, you thought, well, he was better on Cheers, right? Because he could do that comedy shtick. When he tried to do his funny guy stuff on Hunter, it just fell flat because we just wanted to see the tough guy cop, right? Yeah, he had a quirky sense of humor, but for the most part, he was just a, 6'4" dingus with a badge, right? Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it's the 7th day of the month. I can't believe I'm wearing this shirt. This is a test shirt that they did for me of Catfish Corner. All the Catfish Corners are brown, coyote brown. I had extra shirts, so I said, you know what, do me one of those in blue, for the hell of it, so I could have an extra color. So I did my donation. I did my $50 donation, so I have my 2 shirts here. For those of you who have donated, your shirts will be going out Friday, tomorrow, I believe. I'm going to pack it all up today, and if I get it all packed up and ready to go, I might ship today. And then I will be sending messages to people. Hey, I shipped. The people who haven't donated or who have pledged but haven't donated, I'm going to be sending them pictures of the shirts and saying, come on. Same thing with the people who I have asked for donations. I'm going to be sending them pictures and say, come on. The first shirts are in. To the Wingus and Dingus who say, oh, this is a scam. We throw better parties in the park. Yeah, right, Dingus. Yeah, a better party that lasts all of 4 hours. Ooh, yay. That's a better party. It's 12 people get together in the park with a case of beer and sit for 4 hours and drink. That's no fucking party. That's an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting without the anonymous. Yeah, you know what? This is not a party. This is not just a reunion. This is a fucking reunion festival weekend. A whole fucking weekend. I'm not looking to raise money for a case of beer, and some hot dogs. I'm looking to raise some money for a fucking festival, people. Oh, it just irks me, that guy who was like, he just kept being so passive-aggressive. Well, you guys, you have fun, but we do one in the park every year. And it's like, fuck you. Give me a break. You don't want to come, don't come. But don't talk shit on my fucking event. I'll boot you off my page. I'll kick your ass out of everything. I'll exile your fucking ass. No negativity. You want to be negative? Go with Dingus in the park with his case of beer and his 12 buddies. Yeah. That's my new word for idiots, dingus. Dingus. What do you look? You keep looking at that rabbit there, chicken. Are you upset because he didn't vote? Well, he's a fucking hare. What are you going to do? You're a chicken little. You're just screaming because the sky is falling. Well, guess what? It fell. It friggin' fell. Now, how many kids in school used to put the thing here and give themselves a piercing, right, in their hand with the stapler, or do their ear? What are you, nuts? Yeah, pretty much. I did that in school. I was in the 10th grade. I you know what? I don't remember what class that was. I was in it every day for months, and I don't remember what class it was. History, civics, fuck, I don't know. I just remember that one day we're watching this fucking film, and I don't know what the fuck it was. And I had a safety pin in my jacket. And so I took it out. And, oh, no, it wasn't. I had a stud. I had a stud in my ear. That's what it was. It was a stud. And the thing about the stud was it was really sharp on the other end, because it was one of those studs that they put in a gun and fire into your ear. So it was a sharp point on the other end. Really sharp. You'd cut yourself if you scratched the end of it, right? So I took it out of the hole, and I went up and felt a place where I wanted a second hole, right? I didn't have a mirror because I'm in class. I can still feel it here. And I sat there in class, and with that stud with the diamond on the end, I sat there, and I heard it poke through each layer of skin as I'm poking it into my earlobe, right? And you could just hear the skin breaking underneath that thing, and then it hit the cartilage, and then I'm like, and it won't fucking go through the cartilage. I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do, right? So I with two hands, I grabbed it like this, grabbed my earlobe like that, right, and pushed with another finger on that stud, and then just stretched my ear out so tight, and then just with one finger put it on the back of that stud, and it just popped it through, and I could hear it snap through that cartilage in my ear, right? And then it had to come out the back, right? And it didn't come out the back when I snapped it through. So I'm sitting there, and I've got this point on the back of my earlobe that's got this sharp metal underneath it, and it's tight skin, and I'm just pushing and pushing and pushing, and finally it popped through. But when it did, it shot blood all over my desk, right? Because I had been fucking with it and fucking with it and fucking with it for like 20 minutes, digging that hole through my ear, right? And the lights came on just as I'm putting the back on that thing, right? And it's all, I mean, my fingertips are covered in blood. There's blood on my palms. There's blood down here. There's blood on my desk. And the lights come on, and I get up and say, I got to go to the restroom and get cleaned up. And the teacher's like, oh my God, what here, go clean up the desk before you leave. Right? Totally wigged out that teacher. Oh, I didn't go back. I didn't go back. I went to the restroom, got cleaned up, walked around for a little bit, and avoided the security, campus security. And then just as the bell rang, I meandered on out to the smoking area. Good old high school smoking area. What the hell is that? Kids are saying. Oh, as kids, we used to be able to smoke on campus, right? It didn't matter how old you were. If you were in high school, you could go to the smoking area and smoke a cigarette. You had to smoke there. You couldn't smoke anywhere else on campus. If you did, you'd get busted. But if you were smoking in the smoking area, it didn't matter who the fuck you were, how old you were. As long as you were in there, you were okay. Well, I'm 12 and I went into high school early because I got good grades, but I like to smoke cigarettes. It's okay. You can do that there. Wow. I mean, the teachers, the staff, the security, they used to stand in or near the smoking area so they could smoke, right? Teachers and students outside on campus smoking cigarettes together, doing illegal stuff together, right? And I used to get high in the smoking area, right? Why? Fuck. If they were going to smoke, I was going to fucking smoke. I used to get high in the smoking area big time. When nobody knows and you can be sneaky, you're not going to get in trouble. I used to get high on campus all the time back in high school. Never in junior high, because I was too new to it. And it was a tight campus. It was a small campus. There was no place to go hide and get high. Now, the high school, you could just go for a walk anywhere and turn a corner, and you're alone. You're out in the middle of nowhere alone, you know. And I used to get high all the time. I would just be walking, and I would just turn a corner, stop behind a wall, take a hit, and then continue on, and just slowly let the smoke out so nobody could see it. That's it. You just hold on to the smoke long enough, and just kind of just little bits at a time, you know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And of course, I remember getting busted for smoking when I wasn't. Just because, well, you know, that happens. You got a name. Your name's got a reputation. Your reputation stretches over a couple of, you know, years between you and your brother, and it's like, they were looking for a reason to get me. Little did they know, they fucked with the wrong guy. Yeah, one guy tried to get me expelled, and I got his fucking ass fired. Permanently expelled, right? He did that to my brother. My brother was selling dope, but he had my brother expelled permanently from school. It was either that or call the cops. Of course, if they'd have called the cops, the guy who busted my brother wouldn't have been able to keep all of that weed, which he did. He kept all of the weed and let my brother go. Huh? Campus security? You're there to protect everyone? Somebody's selling dope, and you take it from them and let them go? Well, that's because you're going to do the dope yourself, idiot. No, everybody knows that. So this son of a bitch had my brother expelled and smoked his dope. So he tried to get me expelled on some flimsy charges of me smoking cigarettes, and I wasn't even smoking cigarettes at that point in my life. And he kept pushing it, and finally I came in after having been out of school for a day because of I was suspended, and they were trying to expel me because of it. I came back to school with my mother, but most importantly, my best friend's mother, who was a school teacher. And she tore into the school, the dean, and everybody involved about this guy, and how dare they allow this guy to be in charge of taking care of these kids. He was shit-canned immediately, standing there with his soda and his smug face, you know. And she just looked him up and down and just called him out on every single, from head to toe, called him out and said, this should not be around children. This is a horrible influence. And he was fired. He wound up out at another high school a year later. Everybody remembers Dale, the dickhead, in the red 4x4 Toyota, right? I remember him. I remember going to campus. Before I was in junior high, I went to high school with my brother for a special high school thing that we did. And even then, there was the smoking area was the campus. I mean, it was basically the smoking area kind of bled into the campus. It was just this big open area that was covered with a big Zig Zag guy painted on the thing, and, you know, all kinds of pot paraphernalia stuff written everywhere. I mean, it was quite obvious this was a stoner school. I mean, it was a total country stoner school. I mean, you think about that movie. What is that movie? Something Days. No, was that it? No. It's that movie with Matthew McConaughey's first movie. All right. Where he's driving that car around looking for a party. It'd be nicer if you did have a joint. I don't remember what the name of that movie was. But that was pretty much how it was in Lake Elsinore back in the 70s, 80s. It was just like what you would see in a movie. right? I mean, I was literally living in a movie or a TV show about the era back then. It was crazy. It's still crazy to think back to, damn. Yeah, that campus was, I mean, right now where there's all of these buildings, there were mobile home trailers, right? Where the smoking area was back then, there's a giant building where I had my math class in the 9th grade. The campus would change so much every year. Now it's unrecognizable. You go to the campus and it looks like a junior college. It's so big and so massive, and it's just been there forever, you know. It's just been there forever. God, what just flashed in my head was the hospital, Elsinore Hospital, that used to be out there. It was just one big giant flat building, one story. There were no two stories about it. It was a one-story building, and from above, it just looked like a bunch of hallways connected together, right? Just a big, massive block building, flat, and it had these different offshoot corridors and buildings, you know, big, flat, massive rectangles and squares and stuff, and it was all one level. There was no pitched roofs. It was just flat. It was just like somebody took a bunch of sugar cubes and stacked them together all in a row, you know. That was it. No double stacking about it. That was a weird hospital. It really was. And it was there forever. And I don't remember when it just all of a sudden ceased to be. It was kind of gradual over the 80s where it just kind of phased out. I think it became a... Hey, good morning, Joey. I think the old Lake Elsinore Hospital became some kind of senior center or gerontology place. I don't know. But hey, I got my shirt. This is my shirt. Catfish Corner, Lake Elsinore, California. This is my special shirt. I had them do a special one for me when they were making samples. So I'm excited about shirts, and I'm excited about shirt packets and donations and all of that stuff. So what I'm trying to do is make it so that everyone who gets shirts is going to get a donation packet so that they can raise money themselves and send it in to me, and then I'll send shirts, right? And I think that's going to work, right? It's old school, you know. I've already self-addressed and stamped the envelopes, so all they have to do is write in, I want this many of this size and this shirt, and this many of this size and that shirt, and here's how much money I'm sending, and here's how many shirts are going to be coming back to me. That's it. With that information, I should be able to get orders in and out of here within a week, right? My next step is to order another 25 shirts and try to get these shirts paid for as quick as possible. Then I will be looking into getting more shirts, blank shirts. I'm looking for people who want to send in donations for shirts, send in donations of shirts. Anybody who's done a shirt business in the past and has a garage full of shirts, send them in. I'm also going to be looking for deals on Amazon and eBay and that kind of stuff where somebody's just got a bulk amount of shirts and they just want to get rid of them, right? And that's kind of what I'm looking for. Or somebody who does bulk plain blank shirts for a really, really good price. I want to keep the quality up, but I got to bring the cost down. The less money we spend on creating these shirts, the more money we're going to get to invest in more money-making shirts, and the more money we'll have to invest in this party. So I think for a while it's going to go making shirts for shirts' sake, getting donations for shirts so that we can make more shirts. I think it's going to go like that for a while until pretty much most of the shirts are paid for, and we've got a surplus of shirts that haven't been claimed yet. Now, people who have made pledges, I'll be setting aside shirts for them and then letting them know I have your shirts. If you're still up for it, let me know. But if you don't claim your shirts and make your donation, then you're probably going to miss out because it's a limited edition run of 100 shirts only. Right? Each design is only 100 shirts. So you got to get them while they last. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Try to keep this cold leather off of me. Sheesh. It's in the summertime, it gets icky and sticky, and in the wintertime, it's just cold. So I'm going to be looking into getting some seat covers, if anything. I think we're going to move into a love seat sofa type deal in here. But I'm still going to be using these chairs for my stuff. So maybe I'll get my wife to make me 2 seat covers. Get some nice burgundy brown stuff, something like this leather. And then I'll just make some patterns with paper, right? And say, here you go, baby. We work so well together, you know. She knows what I do and how I do things, so she can just kind of meld in with what I'm doing, and vice versa. You know, she's working on something that's like, ooh, I know what she's doing. I can help with that, you know. And then we just kind of mesh. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. After 25 years, yeah, we work really, really well together. But it's always been like that ever since we first started working together. You know, she's real smart and easy to get along with. So, I mean, when I try to teach her something, I wind up learning more. Really. It's great. It's amazing. She is the most wonderful person I've ever known. And the fact that her daughter, our daughter, is like an amazing combination of who we are. It's just how that works, you know. How does that work? It's just weird how that works.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't think we have anything going on today, which means if my wife is around today and we got nothing going on, we might actually get something done around the house, which is usually the way it works. It's like we'll just look at each other and go, all right, let's do something. And it's cold, and it's winter, so we really need to work on the yard, and I need to work on getting my tools out of my van and into the storage shed, the tool shed. I need to get the storage laundry area cleaned up. I need to bring back a box spring for this mattress and take it over to the neighbor so we can get rid of his old crappy bed. Yeah. It's just one of our quirkiness things about us is that, especially because of my wife, she's pretty much responsible for this way we have of giving a shit about our neighbors, right? So we're not, you know, we don't push ourselves into anybody's lives, but if somebody asks for help in any way, we're obligated. That's it. We're obligated to help. And since the first time that we talked to him, and he asked for a little bit of help or something, or just, wanted to say hi, from then on we were obligated to be a good neighbor, basically. And my wife, she will go over. He's an old recluse, doesn't leave the house, invalid, barely can get around, throws his hip out once in a while, and the paramedics have to go into the house and they'll take him out and relocate his hip and all that. So we keep a key so that we can let the paramedics in, so they don't have to break down a door. If he falls down and he doesn't need a paramedic, we had to go in through a window before to help him. I'm stuffing my wife through a window. So now we just keep a key. But she's like, his bed is horrible. I said, well, there's a bed right there. I said, we got 3 more beds over in storage. I said, let's hook him up. Does he need a frame? Is it high enough? Do we need to get him something higher so that he doesn't have to get up and down? I said, however it works. I said, let him know. Or I said, don't let him know. I said, just take it over there. I said, let's just take the box spring in the mattress and show up on his door so he can't gripe about it. He can't say, well, no, don't worry about it, because that happens, Don't make a fuss, So we don't. We just do it. Hey, no fuss. Get out of the way. There you go. All right, take it easy. And we don't make a big deal out of it. We don't, sit around and, gosh, let's take pictures and let's hold hands and let's sing Kumbaya. It's like, what, here's your stuff, and he's appreciative and we move on. And we don't make a big deal out of it so that he doesn't feel overly emotionally in debt to us, right? It ain't no thing. It ain't no thing, dude. And don't worry about it. Most of the things that I do for other people, I try to go into it with that, like, hey man, I was going to do it anyway. I have the extra. It's no big deal, No reciprocation necessary. I feel better if people don't give me anything, but a smile and a hug, maybe. That's it. That's all I require. When people start reaching into their pockets, I lose that good feeling, right? And I realize that most of humanity is beholden to the almighty dollar, or ruble, or whatever the fuck they use. And I'm not. I'm beholden to my soul, man. If it makes me feel good, that's all the pay I need. Money's nice, but it's not, and oh my God, doing good stuff just for the sake of doing good stuff. That is its own reward. Oh gosh, you hear that in the movies all the time. Well, it's fucking true. That's why you hear it all the time, because it's true. Ah, jeez. It's bloody well true. It is. It's true. Anyways. Shirts. I'm so excited about shirts. The first 2 shirts are in. I'm way excited. I'm going to have to send. Oh, it's right here. I'm going to have to send. Yeah. I'm going to bring up the photo. I'm going to save the photo here that we took yesterday. So basically I've got to send the photo here from my phone through Messenger. And no, I don't want that one. I want Messenger. Going to send me photos to myself. Send my photos to myself. Oh, those are nice photos. Photos of the gate, baby. And sending. Yeah. All right. Now I can go here and pick them up on my computer. And we can go back here. And there we go. Hey, I'm back. All right. Messenger, myself, 3 photos. Let's take these 3 photos, and we are going to open them. And here we are, and then download. And download. And download. And there we go. And open the file. Close this. And take these photos, move them down to the morning show, into that file. There we go. Now I can open them up. Hey, see? I'm getting used to this computer bullshit. Bullshit. It's the bullshit that I get used to. Alright. Now we'll open up that photo. And we'll get us a good close-up. Alright. Oh, those smiles. Oh, those smiles. Let's see. I can put myself down here, and let's do that. Look at that no-tell motel. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. It looks better in person. It looks really righteous and live. Look at that. Lindsay and Michelle, and they are the most awesome people at Tees Shirts in Yucca Valley. Yeah. I love going there. It's probably one of my most favorite places here in the basin. And I've only been going there a little over a month. And it feels like a second home, even though I've only been there for a few minutes at a time, a few times. It's just so inviting and friendly. You know, it's really, really cool. They're really nice people. They get me. They totally get me. Wow. Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited. Super excited. I'm going to start bawling again. So, I'm going to be shipping t-shirts in these bags. 8.5 by 11. And they're not all that big. But then again, neither are 2 t-shirts. So basically, I'm going to be folding them up. Whether they're side by side or stacked on top of each other, it doesn't matter. It's provided I can get 2 t-shirts. Yeah, I should be able to get 2 t-shirts in here. Let's do that. That should be able to get 2 t-shirts in this. In that slot there. The way I fold them for my drawer might be appropriate. But they're going to have to be folded down really, really small and tight to get 2 per bag. Now, if I have to double the bag, which means put one in a bag, put another in a bag, and then tape the 2 bags together, I'll do that. Regardless, 2 shirts are shipping at once. I can't do 2 ships because it just wouldn't work. If I have to go get a larger bag to eventually ship them. But from what I understand, this is the cheapest size to go per ounce. So this size should be, I'm hoping it should be big enough for the 2 shirts and the envelope, because that's what I got. The XXX shirts might be a little tougher. 2 XXX shirts. We may have to get to, look, here's shipping and handling. If your sizes are going to be over 1X, you're going to have to pay a little extra for shipping, because the shipping is going to be a little extra. It'll have to go in a bigger envelope because they're bigger shirts, and they're a little heavier. So, yeah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tell me I gotta heat up my coffee here. But before I go, look at those monkeys. Look at those monkeys. Monkeys. Is that a great shirt or what? Oh, I love it. I love it. So the No-Tell Motel is a reproduction of a vintage shirt. So it's not like, let's take the vintage shirt and make a copy of it and then just make copy. I literally had to, not figuratively, I literally had to take and recreate the No-Tell Motel from scratch. The monkeys, the 3 gorillas there, those I had to take and I copy and pasted from a photograph of a t-shirt. And then I had to go into that graphic of the 3 gorillas and I had to go pixel by pixel in my computer and redraw the entire thing over the top of the entire thing. So I had to redraw everything pixel by pixel so that I cleaned up all the edges. Because if you take an image and you copy it, you zoom into the pixels, and if you take that and put it over something white, like cut it out and put it over something white, it doesn't just have a sharp line, it's got a faded line. And I had to get rid of those faded lines from black to gray to white, because the gray to white was not going to transfer well onto a screen. So knowing that these had to be made specifically for a screen, I really had to have them tight. All of the edges had to be cleaned up inside and out, all the way around, every little nook and cranny on those gorillas. The same thing with the lettering, the text, No-Tell Motel. I had to recreate that. All I had was straight text. I had to recreate it in that round shape underneath. And it didn't come out exactly like it, because had it wouldn't have been, it would have been the same, but it wouldn't have been a reproduction of vintage. It's my shirt now, the No-Tell Motel. That thing is mine now. I added Lake Elsinore, California down to the bottom. I touched every one of those pixels. I recreated the text. So those shirts are mine now. They're not on the open market. They're not to sell to make money for a company. It's a limited edition special shirt that you can only get if you're family and friends of the reunion. That's it. It's not for the public. It's not to be sold on the open market. If somebody wants to come along later and reproduce it, that's fine, but it's not going to be this one. Yeah. At some point, we will probably come along and do more colors of some of these shirts. For right now, we're just doing one color per design. Saves money and time. Easier to order. At some point, we're going to give you color choices for shirts, and we'll give you, you're going to get color choices. At some point, you'll get color choices for shirts we've already made. It's like, okay, we're going to do that shirt again, but we're going to do it in a different color so that we don't take away from what you already donated, right? You donated specifically to get that shirt. That's the shirt that only you and 99 other people have. Limited edition, I think, is what is really going to make this, right? Sell out 100 and move on to the next design, and sell out 100 of those and move on to the next design. And I think it's going to be, some people are going to want to have every design. Like me, I can't wait to fill my t-shirt drawer with every single one of these designs. Right now we've got 10. We've got 2 screens ready and producing shirts. I'm working on the next 2 screens now, and a total of 10 shirts are going to be available. We're going to add another 5 shirts plus another 5 colors of other of shirts that we've already run. So there'll be another 10 more coming out. We're going to do 10 new ones, and we're going to add 5 colors. You know, we're going to do 5 new shirts, and we're going to add 5 new colors to some of the original designs that we already have. And I think by the time we get to the actual event, we'll have something like 20 to 25 shirts available. All of the, 10 to 20 shirts for donations, and then 5 to 10 or 12 shirts for the event. So, and those will be limited supply as well, limited edition. I'm not going to over, when I'm making shirts for the event, to be sold at the event, to further things happening after that event, then that's going to be a limited supply, and I'm going to have to make all of those before we get to the event. And that's just the way it is. I mean, I even asked these girls at the shirt place, do you guys have like a mobile setup? And they're like, no, but that sounds totally cool, like a food truck, right? And I'm thinking, yeah, like a food truck set up is like a printing truck, and you just go to an event, and somebody comes up and says, ooh, look, we're going to take this picture. Can you do this picture and put it on a shirt? Yeah, we can do it like right now. That kind of a thing. It'll be costly. It'll cost you twice as much as you would normally, but you guys can be wearing your matching shirts like in an hour, come back in an hour, right? That kind of a thing. Wow, that would be cool. Screen print, dry air, boom, bang, bing. But it wouldn't be a screen printing. It would be more like, what do they do? A photo transfer thing, where they just take it and they just take that photo and they just whoosh, put it right on the shirt, right? I think that is something that they could do quick. Print it, dry it, boom, there's your shirt. Who knows? Something like that might be able to do mobile, It'll be a little pricey, but just imagine what you could do with it, It's like, okay, we got an event coming up this weekend. Who wants to work the truck? Right? Ooh, ooh, ooh. That'd be cool. I mean, you could have it set up for like 1 or 2 people. You could literally have somebody running the window and a screen that faces outward. So while you're working with the computer on your computer screen here, the people are saying, yeah, yeah, zoom in a little closer. Yeah, 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 like that. Can you do something about that? Okay, erase that. Okay, great. Yeah, that's the picture I want. Put it on a t-shirt. Okay, it's approved. Okay, sign the thing and pay. And here's your receipt. Come back in an hour, right? Boom. And then there's one guy back here. Okay, here's another order. And he's just back there taking it all right. He takes the program, makes his fucking shit, puts the shirts in. Bing, bang, boom. In an hour, right? Shirts in an hour. No screen printing because you got to make the screen. You got to do all that. It's a big deal. But the photo transfers. You know, plug your phone in, or text me the photo. All right, I got the photo. Is this a photo we're talking about? All right, here we go. Now look at the screen. How far in do you want it? Where do you want it? Do you want to put a heart around it? Do you want to frame it? How do you want to do this? Here are your options. Look at the screen. Do you like this? Do you like this? We like that one? Okay, let's go with that one. That'd be bitching. Right? That'd be totally bitching. What a job. Fairs, carnivals, concerts. Yeah. That'd be bitching. You'd have a line around the frickin' block, I bet, if you were at a place making custom T-shirts, but just doing the photo, because everybody's got a phone and everybody's like, "I like my photo. Oh, that would look great on a T-shirt. Oh my God, let's do it. No, let's take another one." Yeah, I mean, like the photo booths, right? You go sit in a photo booth with your best friend and you make funny faces and you come out and you get 4 photos, right, on a strip, and you tear it. Here, you take 2 and I'll take 2. You know. Yeah. God, I remember those. I'm going to have to dig around and see if I can dig up some of my old photo booth photos from way back when. Way the fuck back when. I think I've got some from the 80s and 90s. My life is just all about nostalgia. I really need to sit and start going through shit. I'm always tied down to this computer console. And now I'm tied down to the T-shirt stuff. I've got to bust out an ironing board and fold everything, because the ironing board is about the right width, right? So using the ironing board, I can fold inward and shrink the shirts down to a specific size and fold them properly. I don't want to iron them out. I don't want to iron them folded. I don't want to, fold it over and then iron it nice and smooth and tight and fold it and iron it, because then I'm gonna put permanent creases in these shirts. So I can't do that. The only thing I can do really is try to fold them up so that the graphic doesn't fold. When I'm, so when you pull it out, the graphic is like right there, or most of it. It's okay to bend the graphic a little bit, but I don't want to put creases in the graphic. So if it doesn't work to do 2 per bag, then I'll do 1 per bag and tie them together, and then eventually just go to a bigger bag. But that just means that shipping and handling is going to increase. The first donations that have come in, if there's 10 donations that I've asked for, and those 10 people have pledged, 5 or 6 of them have donated. So those will be going out immediately. The other 5 will be going out as soon as I get their donation, but they're not paying for shipping and handling, because that was the original deal. To get the first money to come in, I said no shipping and handling, and you get an extra T-shirt later, right? It's kind of costing us a little bit in the beginning, but it's what got us started, right? Their money, the $50 that I threw in, the $100 that she threw in, the $150 that she gave, all of this is what got us rolling, which is why we have shirts here now. So, yeah. It's just a matter of getting, and like I said, if the people who have pledged do not donate before these shirts are gone, then they're kind of, oops. They'll have to wait until the next batch of this design comes in. You missed. Yeah, I already, shipped those out to some other people who send in donations. You'll have to wait. Send in your donation, because as soon as your donation comes in, your shirts go out or your order is in, right? If we have no more shirts to go out, then your order goes in. It's like, okay, we've got 10 now, order 25 more, and hopefully by the time those shirts are ready, we can pay for the whole 25. And basically what I'm trying to do is do about half of the, a little over half of the shirts at this point to take care of paying for all of the shirts that we're making right now. The 200 shirts, I'm trying to get donations for about 100 in order to pay for the 200. Right? Right now it's a little pricey. Our price is way more per shirt than I would like it to be. At some point we're going to be bringing in our own shirts and just having them screen printed. Okay, here's your 100 shirts, screen print all of these, and we'll pay for them right now. And that's kind of what I want to do, so that they're getting a constant influx of money because I'm getting a constant influx of money. And as long as I can get an influx of shirts, I can keep the shirts going out and the money coming in. So at some point we need to reach a level of shirt production is constant. Every week shirts are being made, and every week shirts are being mailed out. If not every week, then every 2 weeks. But it has to be balanced, and it has to be productive. Right? Because if it isn't, if it takes too long in between money coming in and shirts going out, it's going to lose momentum. So having 12 orders come in and 25 shirts made helps that balance, right? Right now I've got a small surplus of a few different sizes that can go out immediately. We didn't get all of the XXX printed because, well, they had trouble with one of the screens, and the first few shirts didn't come out correctly, right? So I'm low on XXX shirts until they get more produced. And I said, well, why don't we just order 25 more? If we're going to do order 3 more, why don't we just order 25 more? And then that way we can keep production kind of going. Because I don't want to seem pushy, but the only way that I can keep giving them money is if I keep shirts going out. And after this first small batch of like 6 or 7 shirts go out, the orders are going to start coming in, and they're going to dribble in at first, and then pretty soon I'm going to be getting envelopes in the mail with 10 orders, varying sizes, right? And then I will have to make the decision, okay, look, I'm going to fulfill these orders with these colors, but after that, the limited edition thing is going to kick in, and it's like, I'm sorry, those are shirts. Choose another color, choose another shirt, or choose to take the next color that we're going to do on that shirt. This catfish corner that we did in brown, I think I might want to do that one in an army green, right? Kind of an olive drab green, avocado green, something like that. Something old school. Something that will look good with this white graphic across the front of it, right? Most of the graphics are going to be black and white and primary colors, just because it's easier, it's cheaper, and it just looks vintage when you've just got these stark two-color contrasting things, you know. I'm real excited about this. There are a few people who are going to get shirts for free because I've either promised them shirts in the past, or I need their help on this, and I need them to be wearing the shirts in order to get that help. I'm going to be going through the shirts and picking out all the shirts for to fulfill the orders now. And those people, like I had a drawing, 100 viewer drawing, 100 subscriber drawing months ago, back in April or something. And I drew 2 names, and those 2 people, one of them sent me a shirt size and an address, and the other person, of course, banned me for life because I happened to speak my mind. So I still want to get that person who doesn't like me anymore. I want to get them their shirt because that's what I like to do, is follow through. So at some point I'm going to try to, even if I have to go around the horn to get that shirt to that person, I'll do that. Send it to my brother and have them send it. But the old dear friend who won and didn't even know she was entered, of course a lot of people didn't know because I just pulled their names off of my friends list and my subscriber list. So I want to send her a couple of shirts. Of course, we didn't print those sizes that she wants. At least I don't think so. I think they were medium, and we didn't print any mediums. So the next shirts that we print, we're going to print 5 small, 5 medium, 5 large, and probably print more than 25. If I can throw a bunch of money at these kids, then we'll try to get 30 or 35 shirts ordered this time. And if we do that, that'll pretty much pay for the shirts. If we can get 35 more shirts plus what we have, get donations on all of them, the shirts are paid for and everything else is profit, which means we can then roll that into the next design. Unless I get orders coming in and they're like, yeah, we want the next design. You know, you can pre-order your design. If we get enough pre-orders in, then that shirt will go into production immediately. Right? 10 or more pre-orders on a shirt, and we're going to put a graphic together, make a screen, and do it. Yeah. I can't wait. It becomes a bit overwhelming because of the amount of complexity that goes into all of the planning and all of the information that I have to keep track of. I got a big fat notebook here with clipboards and pages and lists and and it's just going to get bigger because I'm going to be getting those papers returned from donors with more donations. And I need to keep track of all these people, how much money they're sending in, what level of donor they are, so that at some point we can thank the people who have just bought every shirt, have donated every single time, right? Yeah, because those people who help out the most, they will be honored at the event, either, you know, in person or anonymously, but they will be honored in some way. There's already a couple of people who have already gone above and beyond ordering or donating money. And there are people who have already gone above and beyond in just trying to help with the logistics. There's one person in particular who lives in Lake Elsinore, the same place, the same area, the same guy, you know, and he's helped out enormously just with his moral support, not to mention the offering of help, and him constantly sending me photos. Thank you, Gary. Constantly sending me photos of our hometown as it is today. He's getting me photos of buildings so that I can take those buildings and make line drawings of them and create graphics for shirts, right? That's bitchin'. At some point, I'm just going to have to get my daughter involved, probably over the holidays. I'll probably strap her to her computer for a week during her few weeks off and say, okay, look, for a couple of hours a day, you need to sit and work on these particular graphics for me. Some of this stuff I can do, but some of this stuff is so tedious for me because I'm not computer savvy. She knows how to draw on computer, all right? So with her expertise and my creativity and our imagination, we should be able to come up with some stuff really quick. And if I can just sit down with her for a few days to a week and bang out a bunch of graphics, come up with, another 12 or 13 or 20 more graphics for shirts and or the event, we're off and running. The fact that they put these labels into the shirts, right? I mean, the inside of the shirt, they put my label. I made a label for it, a graphic label for inside the shirt, and they put it in my shirt, right? And it just makes it so real, right? Look at that. That right there, just when they showed that to me, the water just started pouring, dude. Right now I'm looking at it, and that's real, man. That's fucking real. That is unreal. It's so fucking real, right? I mean, when I started this channel, I had no idea that it would lead to... it's not that I have a lot of viewers, because I don't. It's not that I have subscribers, because I don't. It's not that people really care too much about my channel. It's the fact that I did this from beginning to end, start to finish. All of the information on my channel, I had to gather and curate and catalog. All of the videos that I make, everything that I do on the channel, it just feels so real now. And that reunion actually feels like it's a tangible thing now. I get support from people on Facebook who I don't even know, and they're saying, you need to help this guy out. You need to do something to help this guy. You need to support this. And I'm like, wow, that is unreal, So at some point I'll be going through Facebook and sending friend requests to all of these really nice people, and then I'll be sending donation information to them as well. Hey, you want a shirt? You want a couple of shirts? You want to donate? It literally is a good deal. I mean, $50 donation and you get 2 shirts, right? Yeah, that's just wow. Time is of the essence. Time is moving way too fast. It's like every day I feel like I'm losing ground on getting a head start on this thing, right? It's 10 months away right now, about 10 months away, and it feels like it's going to happen tomorrow, right? And it feels like every day we get a month closer, and I feel like I'm losing ground. I think once shirt production is at full steam, and every week I'm pulling in orders and sending out orders, I think once that is happening, and I've got just a huge surplus of shirts here, it'll feel like we can get it done. Right now it feels real, like we're actually trying to make it happen. But it's not going to feel like it's happening until we get something paid for. I want to get the venue, the house paid for, period. And know that no matter what, we've got a place to pull it all together. No matter who shows up or who doesn't show up, no matter what we have to play with during that week, at least we'll have the place to gather, and that's what really matters. Even if we just sit around and eat and walk and talk and take pictures and play music and watch TV, whatever, even if that's all we do, we're still together, and that's the important part. I think it's going to be off the fucking hook, but, it doesn't really matter. As long as we get the venue paid for, everything after that is going to be dictated by how much money we raise. And I intend to do my best to raise upwards of $20,000 or more for this. Geez, that's a lot. Well, geez, a house on the lake for a week, that's $5,000 easy. Easy. All right. Plus, you've got cleaning fees, and you've got a host or hostess who you want to take care of. So you take care of your host. You invite your host over, you talk to your host, you cash bonus your host out so that it's okay to have extra vehicles. It's okay to have extra people. You cash bonus out your cleaning staff at the vacation rental so that it's okay that you've got too many people using the place. You clean up and make that place almost immaculate before you leave. So they're like, we want you back next year, and we'll make it easier on you, right? We made it tough on you this time because we thought you were going to, but gosh, you guys were the best. Come back. Yeah, that's what we want. So you treat people with kindness, and you will get kindness. You go into something with positivity, and you'll get positivity back. I'm dead certain of that. Positively certain. Yeah. So it's gonna feel real once. It feels starting to feel real now. It's gonna be real once we get the house paid for. Right? I don't know how we're gonna do that exactly. I'm gonna need one of my out-of-state friends, or somebody nearby. It doesn't matter, but somebody who can take the financial hit of taking $5,000 into their bank account and spending it, right? Because it's got to go through a bank. It's got to go through a pay thing, right? And it can't be mine, or I will have my insurance canceled and all kinds of shit will fucking break loose. So I'm old, broken, and poor, and if I screw up my financial situation in any way, insurance, kid in college or kid in university, I mean, there's a lot of things that could screw me up, right? I don't mind being poor. I just don't want to fucking be penalized for it because people think I'm making money on the side. And I got no body to make money on the side. Now if this turns out, I might start a t-shirt business and start creating t-shirts, graphic design stuff, and have them printed and mail them to people for money, actual money, and add that into my taxes. And then it can go through my bank. And then if it's actually worthy of going through my bank, well, then I won't need to worry about benefits and that kind of stuff because I can take care of myself. Not that I'm going to last long enough to really give a shit. But hey, you got to plan for the best. Plan for the worst. Hope for the best. There you go. There you go. Right, chicken? That's it. Ace. Chicken Little. Oh, I better heat this coffee up. I don't even want to get into it, man. It's so totally. Oh yeah, I got my video time machine done yesterday, which was really cool. It turned out being over an hour long. It's like an hour and 10 or 15 minutes long, which is probably the longest video time machine yet. And I made it extra long because I'm thinking, all right, with all of the crap that I've got on here, there's going to be a few copyright hits, right? It's just going to get nailed big time for copyright. And I get it done, and it's like, yep, there you go. Copyrighted content found. And then it said, viewer allows to be used on YouTube. So I go through and I look through all of the checks, and it's like, oh my gosh, they're going to let me play Betty Boop? Really? No shit. So there you go. So it's got like music. It's got music video with the 20s and 30s. It's got Betty Boop. It's got some great cartoons that we've never seen before. Some great movie trailers, some great commercials, some great McDonald's stuff. It's just a great video time machine Friday. It's going to be awesome. It's going to go live at 5 on the channel, but I think I'm going to do a live premiere live, which means I'll do a video time machine live, and I will have the video time machine playing from here going out live. Right? Maybe, maybe not. It just might premiere live at 5 with a big deal. And if it premieres, then that means it's going to start playing at 5, and you can't rewind it or fast forward or do anything with it until it finishes playing and goes into the playlist. I like that. So I think I'm going to do that, where if you don't tune in at exactly 5, you're going to miss the start of the show. Just like the old days. So I like that effect. I like being able to put something on and then have a dramatic, suspenseful build-up before the show. 2 minutes before the show, we get a countdown. It's like, yeah, the show's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. And you get a notification. Hey, the show's coming on in 2 minutes, man. Watch. So I'll probably do that because that sounds a little more fun. I don't have to be involved. I can just turn it on my TV and sit back and watch it like everybody else. And I haven't been able to do that yet. Every time I watch the video time machine for the first time, it's when I'm playing it live with my headphones on, watching it on one of the screens, right? And it's like not the same as being able to turn on the TV and have it come up and start live. So I'm going to do that this week. It's there now. I think it premieres. I'm going to go double check right now. I believe it premieres at 5 o'clock on Friday. And it is a premiere. And I think I have a countdown. If not, I'm going to set it up right now. Oh, that looks like Muttley. Oh, there's this dog on an ad there, and he just totally looked like a dog we used to have 40 years ago. Wow. 30 years, 35 years ago. That's crazy. Muttley. Good old Muttley. Thank you, 171 subscribers. I am completely unworthy of your attention, but thank you so much for subscribing. 171. It bounced around for a little while between 170 and 165, kind of fluctuated. Get a subscriber, lose a subscriber, that kind of thing. I'm at 171 now, and I am so grateful. Thank you so much. Let's see, manage videos. Video time machine should be right there on the nose. The nose, dude, right on the nose. I've got a nose. The noses have it. And there it is. Video time machine scheduled for public on the 8th at 5 p.m. We're going to set it as a premiere. We're going to set up the premiere. We are going to go to a sci-fi countdown. And we're going to do a 2-minute countdown or a 5-minute. Ooh. We'll just keep it at 2 minutes. That's enough time. That's enough time right there. Save. Okay. So the 8th, that's Friday. 5 p.m. as a premiere scheduled. So there it is. video time machine, and it is like an hour and 12 minutes or so, an hour, and it's pretty long, but it is quite entertaining. I don't know about you, but I like to watch like 5-minute blocks of old commercials, old public service announcements, that kind of stuff. Because if you just watch a quick one, like 30-second commercial, like, ooh, that's cool. That's a blast from the past. But if you start watching more and more, pretty soon you're watching like 3-5 minutes of these old commercials. If you're from back then, you start to pull memories down that you just didn't even remember that you ever had, right? That's fucking awesome. So yeah, I'll sit and I'll watch an entire news broadcast from like 1972, right? And just sit there and just be completely engulfed, and then watch all of the commercials in between, you know, a full 30 minutes. It's a full-on time capsule, man. It is a time trip that is, if you allow yourself, you can just totally drift back. Even if you've never been there, man, you can like, wow, it feels like I was there, man. I never even was, man. I'm like 25 years old and I was never there, and I feel like I was there, man. That kind of a thing. You know, so I try to, and I remember first learning about the stuff from the 20s and 30s, and learning about years and decades and eras and that kind of stuff back in the 70s and 80s when I first became aware. And so a lot of the stuff that we're looking at is 20s, 30s, and a little in between, but we're looking at it from like the viewpoint of the 70s and 80s. So there's a lot of stuff from the 70s and 80s, right? It's yeah, it's time travel. Time travel is possible, man. You just have to allow yourself to go. Just let go, man. Totally. Wow, it's almost 6:30. Halfway through the show. It's all the excitement. I keep looking over at these 2 boxes full of t-shirts and a couple thrown out there on the bed. And I'm like, wow. Don't think too much about it, because you'll start bawling again. Yeah, I'm an emotional guy. I've always been an emotional guy. I tried to pretend I wasn't. I tried to hide it, and that would just lead to ultra depression. I used to, you know, strut around like nothing bothered me. And it did. And now I just, you know, I just live. Whatever emotions I'm having, I just let it out, you know. Happy, mad, glad, sad, what doesn't matter, you know. I'm just going to let it happen, because if you don't, you get used to packing away those wrong, bad feelings. And no feelings are wrong, no feelings are bad. You know, you just got to express them and move on, deal with them. I never did that growing up. I never did that for the first 20 or 30 years. I never dealt with stuff. I would just hide from it, be depressed, crawl into a bed, pull the sheets over my face and hide from the world. And I'd come out every once in a while and involve myself in the world and then run back and hide. And I did that a lot growing up before my 20s. I was hiding a lot. I went out on my own into the world, got away from my family and my parents and all of my friends, and I was out in the world on my own for quite some time until I got married. And then after being married for a couple of decades, realized that this is it, you know. I mean, all of that stuff from my past, all of those people, you know, where were they, right? They were never there. I was there. And I was alone, which led to a lot of depression. But after I got married, it took me a while to realize that I wasn't alone. Long time. And up until recently, was able to deal with the fact that I really had no connections with family and friends from the past for like 20 or 30 years, right, or more. Little smatterings of back and forth here and there over the 20 or 30, 40 years, but not really a whole lot. So that type of thinking really, really spawned the idea of doing some kind of reunion, right? Yeah, for me, but not for me. You know, yes and no. I mean, for the most part, it's for everybody else. I mean, I only really honestly feel there's only a few people out there who want to see me, right? So there's only a handful of people out there that I know that I want to see. I don't know that they want to see me, but I know they're probably going to want to see all these other people, which is, you know, probably the only way that I'm going to be able to see the handful of people that I want to see is to let them invite whoever the hell they want to see, right? And I think that's the only way it's going to work. I just hope I make it there. I mean, honestly, every day I feel like, oh gosh, when's it going to be over, right? I'm wiped out physically. My pain level is so maxed out most days. It's just incredible. Or I just get so tired. You know, it's like, all right, I'm done. I'm going to bed. And then I'll jump into bed for 2 or 3 hours and pass out and then get up and then try to wake up enough to do something before I got to get back into bed again and go to sleep to get up for this. And it's like that every day. All right. How much energy am I going to have? And how can I best use that energy? I've pretty much done enough on the computers. I've done enough for YouTube this week. Over the weekend, I'll get into doing more for next week. But for the most part, YouTube pretty much takes care of itself. It's easy. I spend a couple of days, a few hours a day, prepping stuff for the next week. That's it. Yeah. So it looks like most of my free time right now is going to be tied up with shirts. Getting shirts into the mail. And that's pretty much it. I need to get all of these shirts that have already been donated for and get them into the mail and then prep bags, prep envelopes for other people, hoping that they're going to follow through with their donations so that I can just instantly make out a Post-it, stick it in there, seal up the envelope, tape it, and ship it, you know. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-tape all of these on the edges. I'm going to do an X tape across it, right, to give it strength. And I might do a star, or what do you call that? The jack. So I'll do that on both sides, and then I'll tape the edges all the way around, and then seal up the thing once it's closed. And tape that so that it can be tossed around, because it's going to be pretty tight with those two shirts and envelopes stuffed in there. So I'm probably going to pre-tape a bunch of bags with the X's and the edges and everything, so that once I stuff things in, it's already taped. Because if you try to tape stuff around a poofy bag, it's going to look horrible. So I'll tape everything nice and snug, and then they'll be nice and safe. I'll pre-address them, I think, before I'll pre-address them before I tape them and before I stuff them. I'm going to have to look for my labels. I have big labels that I can throw into my printer and print out addresses to ship to. I have, where is it? I have return address labels that I can put on the return address portion. So that's easy to deal with, but I've got to dig up those labels, because if I can just print out, and do all of my labels at once on the printer, and then just stick them onto here directly over, like this barcode here and this thing here, you know, or I'll probably mark over that barcode so it doesn't get interrupted, doesn't fuck with their post office stuff. So I'll get these cute little bags ready. Hopefully I can get shirts into those bags. I don't want to have to switch to a bigger bag. The size she showed me was that size, and anything bigger I think might have to cost more, and I don't want to go there. I'm already going to be paying for every extra ounce past the like $5 it's going to cost to ship that, and then more for each ounce after that, and I don't know what it costs for each ounce after that. Yeah, so we're in the process. I'm going to be taking those first ones down to ship today or tomorrow, and then I'll know exactly what it's going to cost to ship the small ones versus the big ones, the weight, the size, the extra, the works. Post office. Got to get to the post office. So I'm going to be shipping to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. That's it, 6. And I'm that person, so. Post office. So I've got 2 XXX orders. And I think we ordered 5 XXX of each design, each color. So if they screwed up 3 of them, I should still have the 2 to ship. So that means I'll be shipping 7, because I'll be shipping to my brother, just so that I can get him a shirt to wear for video stuff. Once I have people wearing shirts, I will be looking into doing a video chat with people for about 10 to 15 minutes and do a create some kind of advertisement for donating, right? A PSA, so to speak, for our event. You know. Yeah. There's also somebody here who's been very helpful, and I'd like to get them shirts, because if that person has a shirt and is wearing those shirts, I think he's going to be able to gather donations really easily, because he lives in Lake Elsinore, and he's going to be wearing shirts with Lake Elsinore on it, but vintage throwback shirts, and older people are going to be like, oh my God, where did you get that? And he could pull out his donation thing and say, well, if you want one, you can get 2. Check out this one. Right? And all they got to do is bring up their phone and say, look, here are the shirts. Here's another shirt. There's another shirt. There's another shirt. Which one do you want? It's my friend. Look, here's his card. Here's him with the girls in the shirt. Here's him on his channel. He's the real deal. That's, you know, it needs to... Yeah. Yeah. So, Gary, I'm going to be sending Gary a couple of shirts. So excited. So excited. I mean, the shirts are going all over the place. Colorado, Lake Elsinore, Wildomar, California, right down the street from Lake Elsinore. Ohio, Riverside, California, Indiana, right? I mean, shirts are going everywhere. Shirts, shirts, shirts. Oh, the list of shirts is pretty cool. Yeah, I guess I can close that. Let me grab the old list of T-shirts here. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. That's not the right spot. That is the right spot. But is it there? I don't think it transferred over to this one, did it? Kimosabe. I think it's not work. Yeah, it didn't transfer over. I had a list of all of the different shirts that that we're doing there, and it didn't transfer over to this file. I haven't clouded this computer lately, so it's kind of a bummer. Let's see, and it hasn't clouded over to this program either. Wow, that's just great. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. One thing I need to do is I need to print out a list of the committees that we need volunteers for, right? Because we've got a lot of stuff that has to be done. And I want to kind of do it old school, like we was in high school. And we would have these different committees to do different things, like the dance and the yearbook and sporting events. And, you know, when the groups of kids would get together to pull these things off and to raise money and do these things. And that's pretty much what's going on. I never had a chance to get involved in any of that stuff, so I don't know how to do it, right? But there are a lot of people who did that shit big time in high school and then carried that knowledge over into their everyday lives and work and stuff. So those are the kind of the people that I'm looking for, people who did that, who were on the yearbook committee, who were, you know, on the dance committee, those kind of people. Entertainment, people who can help with that stuff like we did back then, because that's the whole idea, is to go back. You can never go home again. Bullshit. You can. It's just different. Totally. Oh, gotta... No, she's not waking up today. Okay, so there we go. Talk about going back. That's me back in the 8th grade. I wish I had a close-up of that shirt. I'm not sure what shirt that is. But I really wish I could see the whole thing. So totally, man. That's a crazy, a young, a weird, unbearded guy. Still hanging on to a little bit of that chunk. I'm wearing that bandana there, not just to keep my hair down. I think I had to borrow a brush, and if you look, I just brushed the hair that was hanging out below the bandana. If you look above the bandana, it's all fucked up. And that bandana is there to keep my hair down, but also to cover up the mole that I used to have above my right eye. I used to have a mole there. If you look, you can just barely make it out here. And if you look right here, you can see a mole, a dark mole that I had in front of my ear. Both of those have since been removed. I had them removed about 10 or so years ago. Maybe longer. Along with one that was growing on my nose. And the one that started to grow on my nose prompted me to go into the doctor and say, get this thing off of me. I'm going to catch it on my fucking ring or something, or watch. You go to wipe your nose, and you just catch it on your cuff, and it just pops it off or something. I didn't want that. So I had them surgically remove that and cauterize it. And then he said, well, we can take off these too. And I said, get rid of them, dude. Get rid of them. And then he even took one off of my back because he was worried about the one on my back. But, well, a little chubby there, huh? A little chubby. I had a real hard time with those eyes. I still have a hard time with those eyes. I don't look at those eyes anymore. Mainly because, look, it's a different person. It's a completely different person. Those eyes don't even look blue. My eyes aren't even blue. They're gray, and those don't even look gray. Yeah, I was not happy when I was young. Not happy at all. Totally. Yeah, but then that was the day, back in the day. I was looking to see if I had one of my friend at the same time period, but I don't, not in this file.
Ah, jeez.
Oh. Boy, Lord. Pardon me. Pardon my pain. If I start drooling, I apologize. Sometimes I get caught in a moment of pain where I will shake myself out of it and shake drool all over, because it'll be like, oh wow, I was completely out of it. So pardon my pain.
Ah, yeah.
Here's a cool graphic that I created for one of the end of my videos, because I needed a cool end page for something, and so I created this. Cool, huh?
Totally.
Or maybe not. Or maybe not. Right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, not. I made that for the end of a reunion video thing there. And that's one thing that I really need to concentrate on with the reunion, is creating some advertisements for donation, right? And basically, here are the shirts for the reunion. Donate now. If you want shirts, contact me. Basically, that's it. It should be as quick. Flash, 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 flash. You know, here's where to reach me. That kind of a thing. And then, you know, you'll send me a message. I'll vet you, find out who you are, what you're all about, if you're going to the party, if you just want to donate, if you're just some schlub that's trying to fucking troll me or whatever. And basically, it's going to be the advertisements and the first shirts going out to people who contact me directly is going to be different from the forms that I send out to people with their shirts, where, okay, now you're it. You're responsible for now gathering a bunch of money and sending it to me, right? Get checks and money orders from people. Get cash from people. It doesn't matter. Stick it all in the envelope. Send me, you know, $500 or more, and that's, what, 10 donations. And I'll send you out your 20 t-shirts. Because 2 t-shirts per donation. That's a good fucking deal right there. I drop $35 on a t-shirt at the mall every time we go. I drop $40 to $50 to $60 a shirt at least once, sometimes 3 times at one concert. Yeah, because for me it's the concert and the shirt are like one. If you're going to go to a concert, you got to get a shirt. I have to come home with a shirt if I'm going to a concert. You know, if you're going to a concert, don't bother bringing me a shirt. I didn't go. If I'm taking you to a concert and dropping you off, I don't want a shirt. If I go to a concert, I got to have a shirt. That's it. Don't matter what it is. I got to have a shirt. There have been times where I just been like, I haven't gotten a shirt. And I'm like, I should have gotten a shirt. So the next time I go to a concert, I get 2 or 3 shirts. I'm going to fucking make up for it. It don't work like that. I'm really disappointed in the Killers. Not the concert, but the t-shirt. We bought t-shirts, and I walked away and noticed that one of my t-shirts was smudged. Should have been a signal. I took it back to get a new one. Got a new one. It looked perfect. Took it home, wore it once, washed it, and it just, the whole thing said, ugh. So it's sitting in there. I refuse to look at it. What do you want us to do with this t-shirt? Hide it. At some point, I'm going to get the graphic for it and take it and the graphic to my t-shirt people, and they said, just bring it in and we'll make another one. So I'm going to take the original shirt and have a new graphic put over the top of the smudge, which should look really bizarre, especially since the smudge is black, and I'm thinking of going with a gold or silver sparkle, right? That should look great. That should look fucking awesome over that smudge that looks like a blurred shadow behind it, because it's the similar shape and everything. That'll look really cool. Although I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm just figuring that should be neat. Let's do that. And then I keep the same shirt from the concert. It's just different, but original. Totally. Yeah. I can't believe it's almost 7 o'clock. I'm not sure how I want to go about doing today. I imagine that I am going to be doing packets. I am going to be folding up all of my stuff. I collated everything, stapled some things together, I need to now tri-fold it for envelopes so that it will go in the open envelope, so that when they pull it out, they can see, okay, this is what gets returned. And I'm going to put Post-its on everything. Order form to be returned in the envelope enclosed, right? Here's my business card in case you need to contact me directly. It's not really a business card. It's more like a hobby card, because this is all just a hobby. I don't make money on YouTube. I'm not doing this as a business or a company. My studio is not an operating movie studio, film studio, TV studio. It's just me, my hobby. I've always wanted my own studio. And so now I have one. It's not a money-making studio. It's my own private studio. And that's what makes it unique. It's real, but it's unreal. It's real, but it's unlike anything you've ever known. Yeah. So I think I have a couple of more things to print out for the packet. Stuff about the committee. And then I need to write out individual Post-its thanking the people individually. And then I need to take a photograph of the packet so that every packet that I send out has the same stuff. So when I send out packets in 2 weeks or a month or something, same thing. I know exactly what goes into each packet, because I'll forget. I'll be like, what the fuck did I send in that thing? Where I don't have any more. So I'll have a sample packet set aside that will be, okay, look, here's your packet. Be sure to print out all of these items. Be sure to do the personalized Post-it, and the Post-its explaining how to do things along the way. I gave it to my daughter to read, and she read through the order form, and she said, yeah, I understand that. So I'll put a Post-it on there. If you have any trouble filling this out, please contact me directly. Phone, message, messenger, text, video chat me, it don't matter. I'm always available when it comes to this reunion thing. I have to be in order to get it done. This is limited time. Chop, chop. Get it on, baby. Get it on. I'm going to be making some more vintage t-shirt graphics for defunct stuff that's not around anymore. I just found another one in my head. That one I really have to work on. And at first I thought, I'm just going to give all of this stuff to them and they're going to do all of the graphics. And then I realized through working with them that they don't have the time to deal with this kind of stuff, especially with my budget. And I'm actually really good at not just creating a graphic, but making it so that they can actually use it to create the shirts, right? To create the screen, to build from there. I give it to them and they're like, well, this is perfect. We don't have to do anything to it. We enter the computer. As long as it's black, it turns into a screen. Bing, bang, boom, right? So right now I have enough shirts that I should be able to get at least another $500 to throw at these girls, right? I've given them I think only 400 so far. And I really need to get them some cash, in order to make a few $1,000s, I got to spend a couple of $1,000. At some point, I'm going to get to where I'm going to be able to spend a few $100s to make a few $1,000s. That's where we're really going to hit it when it comes to fundraising. As soon as I can get shirt production balanced out to where we're pushing out really, really good shirts, but I'm finding the shirts and creating the graphics, and they're just printing them. Printing. And leave, all they have to do is create the screens and print the shirts, and leave as little as possible for them to charge me for, basically. Because I'm getting hit with all kinds of charges. Mainly because I'm setting all of this up and stretching it out. If, you know, there's setup charges every time I have to do screen printing. So if I could come up with a big chunk of money, I could get all of the rest of them printed and then have that to then snowball into paying ahead for the next shirts, right? If I can do the next run of shirts paid for in advance through donations, then everything after that is profit and rolls into the next shirt and starts paying for the venue, the entertainment. 6 months out, I need to already have the house, and I need to have the down payment for the entertainment. That's 6 months out, which is only 4 months away. So snowball is like an understatement. The shirt production and donation influx needs to hit record levels after the first of the year, or before the first of the year. I mean, if I can get people to send in a shitload of donations and pre-orders before the end of the year, you know, because I don't think that I'm going to be shipping, being able to, unless I get stuff out this week and I get orders in within 2 weeks, then it looks like I could probably ship out for Christmas. But if I don't get orders in before the end of this month, chances are nothing is going to go out before Christmas. So, and holiday shipping is just a nightmare anyway, and it's more expensive. So I'll probably try to, if it's already increased, which is why I'm using these bags here. So every money that gets spent on shirt production, mailing shirts, packaging shirts, printing out stuff for donations, all of that costs money and brings the donation level down. It's bureaucracy at work, man. Exactly what it is. So right now, it's not even paying for itself. Because it hasn't paid, this bureaucracy I've set up for donations hasn't paid for all of the shirts that are being made. And it hasn't paid for the shipping, it hasn't paid for the packaging and the literature and all of that. Once shirt production hits a steady pace, and we can pay for shirts ahead of time so that shirts can be produced 100 at a time. And I think I'm going to go 125. Once I start ordering my own shirts and printing out a whole entire batch, I think I'm going to go to more like 120, 125 shirts per run, so that we'll have the extra sizes, right? Because it'll be a 100 shirt run, orders will come, and it's like, crap. If we'd only printed 100, we wouldn't be able to fill these donations, right? But because we print a little bit extra and varying sizes, we can actually fill these, you know. And it might be that extra 25 might be, look, we finished that 100 shirt run, but the orders say that we still need 2 smalls and a large and 3 extra, you know, so we're going to print out 25 more of those particular ones so we can complete the orders, but that's it. it'll appear like we've only done 100, but on paper it'll show that we've done a little bit more to balance out production, ordering 5 shirts at a time in 5 shirt blocks. You know what I'm saying. Whoa. Hi, Bessie. How are you? Big Bessie, you want to come up? Want to come up here? Want to come up here and sit with me? I'll throw a blanket on you. I'll put a blanket on you. Huh? Want a blanket? Put a blanket on you. Come on. Come up here. You don't want to go out, do you? You want to go outside? It's too cold out there. All right. I guess I'll put you out. Sheesh. Let me put you out and take a leak. And while we're doing that, oh, that's not where it is. I'm going to have to move that over into the reunion file because that's where it should be. Alright, and here we go. And I'm going to go put this dog outside real quick and take a leak. And so I am going to leave you with this right now. And I'll be back in a flash. I'm back, baby. I mean, I'm here, but I'm back, but I'm here, but I'm not really here. Oi. It's wintertime when I wish we still had 3 windows here. From the outside, it looks like we still have 3 windows, because there are still 3 windows. But on the inside, this place is covered up with drywall and paint and stuff to make it look like there's only 1 window on that wall behind me. But there's actually 3 windows there. I want my wall space so that I've got room to hang stuff, right? So on either side of that window there, I just covered up the windows, framed it, drywalled it over, and textured and painted it, and was done with it. The dogs don't like it. They would prefer that I have a sofa there up against 3 windows so they could just yell at the world. No, thank you. We did that for a while. They had a table there, and they'd jump over and get on top of stuff just to get to that window. And, yeah. No longer. They want to do that shit, they can take it outside. Every once in a while, they'll start screaming in here and run outside. And, man, I would just wish they would get outside before they'd started screaming. Because they can yell loud. I'm telling you. Did I tell you? Hi, Bessie. I'm telling you. Come on, up here. Come on. If you come up, I'll cover you with a blanket. Come on. Come on, Bessie. Come on. Bessie. Bessie, are you cold? Come on. Come here, Bessie. Come on. Come on. Get up here. Come on. I'll cover you up. Come on. Come on. Come on, Bessie. Come on. Come on. I swear, if you get up here, I'll cover you and you'll be warm. Come on. Come on, Mina. See? Come on. Get up here. This chair's not big enough for you. You have to get up here. Is that it? You just want your blanket? Okay, there you go. There you go. Is that better? Is that better? Yeah? Are you covered now? Did you get your blanket on? Did you get your blankie on? Come on up here. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right. That's just, you just want your blanket on. And there you go. You take your blankie and you just sit there with your blankie on. Okay? There you go. There you go. Yeah. I know. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I got no room in my lap for you. You're so big. You get on this chair here and I'll cover you up. You can sit right there next to me. Big goober dog. She's just being a big goober. Come on, right here. Come on. Get in this chair. Get in this chair and I'll cover you up. Go ahead. Come on. Big goober. I'll just cover you up then. Here you go. There you go. There you go. I don't know what else to do. If you get into bed, I'll cover you up. Yeah, she don't know what to do. She's confused. Or I'm not being able to read her. She got food and water. She's been out. She's looking weird, like she wants to play, or she's just cold. Are you just cold? Huh? Afria? Hi. You want to hold hands? Is that what you want? Okay, there we go. Let's hold hands. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. I know, we're holding hands, huh? You're a funny dog, Bessie. You're a funny dog. Yes, you are. The light going through my hair makes me look even older. Right? Totally. Okay, so she's wearing her blanket over to her bed. And she's sitting there. She's a hard dog to read. My other dog, Sam, easy as pie. I know exactly what he's thinking every second, right? Totally. He knows what I'm saying. I know what he's saying. Full-on comprehension going on there. It's pretty cool. This one here, I ain't got a clue. Most of the time, it's like, you want this, you want this, you want this. Oh, you want that? Okay. Yeah, it's like trial and error. Biggin. Hi, Biggin. What are you doing? You want to get up here? Come on. Come on. Come on. Bessie, come on. I'm just going to give up. She keeps eyeballing me, but she won't tell me what. There you go. Up. Come on. You get up, and then I'll put this blanket back on you when you're there. That's what she wants. She wants to be in her chair, covered up with her blanket, and now she is content. There you go. There you go, big face. There you go, big face. That's a good dog. Now she's just a lump in a chair here. There you go, a covered lump. That's a good girl. Yes, you are. You're a good baby. Big baby girl. Yes, you are, big baby girl. Hi. Hi. She's a weird one. She's a weird one. She just tucks her face in and goes to sleep. Oh, this coffee. It's unbearable. I've got to heat it up now. It's got to be sweet and hot, and it ain't hot. Sam had to switch beds. He had to go from my wife to my daughter. So he was ready for the switch. He had already gone outside, taken a leak, and he's like, I opened up the door, and he's like, got out of bed with my wife, got out from underneath the blankets, went into the other room, and he like looks at me like, are you going to put me in bed? So I have to pull up the blanket for my daughter and lift his butt, and then he jumps up into underneath the blanket with my daughter. And while she's sleeping, she just throws her arm over him and grabs him and curls up with him. Yeah. And then I had to cover up Tootsie because her butt was hanging out of the blanket. She's got her own little special blanket. So I had to make sure she was covered up. She looked up at me like, good morning. I don't want to get up yet. They're the cutest little guys. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's been months since I've played the guitar and or sang. And I can't explain why. Other than it will probably lead to severe depression if I am constantly playing and singing and then I have my voice taken away. And that's kind of where I was at. I was like, man, if I'm like right in the middle of creating a song and I have all of my teeth yanked out, I'm not going to want to sing or finish that song. So don't even get started. And it's been like that ever since I knew. Well, for a few months, I was just too depressed. You know, it was like I had so much going on. I wanted to do so much musically, but I just felt so alone in it all that I just kind of put it all aside, just kind of shelved everything. Because when you spent your whole life in a severe depression funk, right? And you're always alone. You just get tired of creating stuff on your own, right? Some stuff you just like this. I'm just so used to doing this on my own. I really wanted other people to be involved with this channel. I wanted to make it a brothers and sisters type thing, and I wanted to involve a bunch of people from the past, which is, you know, a big reason why I was real happy to have one of my oldest and dearest friends here. Because, you know, not only was I able to have the chance to help him out, but just him being here was helping me out. And then it went horribly wrong. And while I've stood pretty strong through the first 4, 5, 6 months of that, depression eventually set in, and I just could not escape the fact that I just keep doing all of this stuff alone, right? For the most part, I'm alone. Nobody else wants to get in and do it with me. Nobody has the same way of looking at all of this that I do, I guess. I don't know. I thought for sure that I could get my brother involved with this, and a few of my old and dear friends involved in this, and they'd be like, yeah, let's do this. And while my brother's like, yeah, let's do this, he's too busy. Like everybody else. Everybody's got their own fucking shit going on. And my crazy ideas are just that, you know. I really put myself to the test this last year. Since about a year ago. First going to some crazy concerts and stuff. But, man. Create a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of borrowed content. I'm getting to where I can start using borrowed content to create original content. And that's going to be something. When I can take it that step further and start combining different elements from different eras and periods and stuff, that's going to be different. That's going to, you know, be a change to this whole thing. I've already started with the Dimension X. I created the new Dimension X. Like X-1 had a thing going on, right? With the star field and the title. Kind of looks like it's just kind of hanging there in space and stuff. Dimension X, I took it a step further, where we're actually in a time-dimensional ship moving through the universe and time and space and stuff. And we're kind of dragging along with us that stuff from the past. And that's kind of the way it looks on the screen. You know, it's got kind of a futuristic, old school, vintage feel to it. So what I'd like to do is create a video series that kind of utilizes that same technique with just combining a whole bunch of different elements onto the screen at once, and kind of being able to kind of bounce back and forth between the things and observe what's going on. Yeah. Or creating original content in with a vintage feel. Like, is this Is this now or is this then? That's the way I want it to feel. You're not quite sure. And I've got the old technology to do that and to capture it on the computer. So, yeah. I'm getting responses here for my photos that I uploaded for my shirts. So people are starting to wake up and see my posts. Yeah, and these are people who have donated. People responding, so they're like, all right, shirts are coming. Shirts are coming. I am working diligently to get shirts out to people ASAP. I've just been kind of waiting because I can't rush the shirt people because they're almost doing this pro bono, right? Until I can get money to them, right? So I've been getting a little money to them. But I think now I can start getting some big money to them. And paying them off, which means then getting some big money to us. And I think with the big money that comes in, I'm just going to double down and order a bulk amounts of shirts and have them print out a huge amount and try to bring the costs way down so that the next batch of shirts that we do, we're going to do the same thing, pay for the shirts up ahead, buy all the shirts, print them all at once, and have a surplus left over that's going to go into the kitty. And then these shirts, we're going to then pay for those, double down, and then use them to then split and pay for new shirts and set aside some more savings. I think once we start doing it that way, we're just going to be making bank. We're going to set aside so much money for this thing. Yeah. And while I'm trying to run this as professional as possible, like a business, it's not. But it is. Totally. Wow. Big Sandy's over there in Europe. England, Europe. Wow. Right on, yeah. That's bitchin'. You go, guys. You go. November tour. That's bitchin'. The UK, Italy, what do you got? Munich, Lucerne. What's that? Chile? Or no, that's not Europe. I don't know. Chucahuanga. Chuca. Yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't know. Hurt, I guess. That's what I usually do. Wallow in pain. It's mine. I can wallow in it. Right? Yeah, baby. It's official. It is. It is official. The fact that I make these graphics all the time on my computer for my show and my channel, all of that practice making those graphics is now coming into play, making graphics for the shirts, because it's the same exact thing. I'm using the same programs, you know, picking a nice creative font and a really bitchin' design, and then just, here we go. Trash man. It's the trash man. That's because it's Thursday. Tuesdays and Thursdays, they empty the dumpsters here in our mobile home park. Unbelievable. Man. I got shirts. I got packets. I mean, I'm so jazzed, right? I'm going to probably set the ironing board in here so that while I'm folding, I can get some photographs of me folding and packaging and that kind of stuff. I want there to be a whole sense of openness, disclosure, realism. You have to have a sense that this is actually happening, right? I don't want bullshit, you know, my autistic child created these shirts and will you please buy some for him, right? Because how many groups are you in where you see the same fucking post from 80 different people copying and pasting so that they can make their 2 cents per t-shirt, right? Bullshit. Nope. We ain't doing that scam bullshit t-shirts here. These are real shirts made by me, real people. I got nothing against autistic community, but apparently those people do because they're scamming them and using their likeness, right? That's horrible. It makes me sick that people buy those shirts. Oh my gosh, look, it's their autistic child. Let's buy the shirt. It's like, do you not get it? Do you not? Oh, look, somebody else in this group. Oh, look, somebody else in this group. Oh my God, there's so many. It's like, you're being fucking scammed. Do you not get it? They punch the name of your town into a program and it automatically generates this t-shirt that makes you feel like, gosh, I live there. They put your age, you know, and your name and your hometown and so grew up, was born in there and grew up here. And it's like, it's bullshit, you know? It's 8,000 other people are wearing the same fucking shirt. There's nothing cool about that. Now, only 100 made. That's cool. That is way cool. And you're going to try to get your friends and family from back then to donate because they're the ones who are really going to be into these shirts, right? Somebody who grew up there, somebody born there, born and raised in Lake Elsinore. I want that shirt. I want that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. I want them all. You got it. You got it. If I get, 100 loyal shirt donators, that's all it's going to take, baby. That's it. 100 people who have to have every shirt. I mean, I'm there, right? I'm going to be making my $50 donations and bringing home my 2 shirts every time there's 2 more shirts. And because I'm special, I'm going to be giving them extra shirts of different colors to print, like this blue one of the Catfish Corner. There's only going to be one of these, and I'm wearing it. Everybody else is going to have their browns. I'm going to have my brown, but I'm also going to have this special blue one, And I may do more special shirts. Who wants, okay, everybody's bought these. Who wants a special blue color? Who wants the special white or black or red, right? Aha, aha. It's going to work. It's going to work. And I can do red on top of red ink on top of a red shirt. If I just do a an outline, right? Oh my God. Yeah, man. Just getting people jazzed about shirts. And that's cool. It's cool that people are getting jazzed about shirts. Okay, I think I'm caught up on my my thing here, my monitor, my phone monitor. I like to keep track of my show on a monitor here on my phone, so I know what's popping out live into the world. If I look over and it's like got a little wheel spinning, I know that my show is probably being hammered by technical difficulties, a slow stream or something. I got a slow stream in the morning, I'm telling you. And I keep track of messages that come in, because my other computers are busy doing stuff, so I can't do. Most people are going out live on YouTube through YouTube. I'm going out live on YouTube, streaming through an audio video processor and another computer and a program that is linked up to YouTube. So it's a whole weird studio thing going on here. I don't know how to explain it. I just know how to do it. Online broadcasting software. I'm going to have to get more coffee. That's all there is to it. I was going to wait, but I can't wait. Yeah. My little house here is miserable. It is such a tiny little shack. Such a wreck of a place. I honestly wish we had waited a little longer and got one of the other mobile homes here in the park. But we were just so anxious to get out of that trailer. And then we've invested so much time and money into this place. We could say, you know what, let's wait. When that one's available, let's make a bid on it and buy that one and then move. Right? The only bummer is that it would take a while to move, and we would own two places for a while. Right? Actually, we would own two places, period, and we would have to figure out how to get out from underneath this one while getting into that one, or we would have to pay rent on two places, right? Yeah, now it's okay if we were able to get one and fix it up really cheap, really quick, and then do a vacation rental on it, right? And rent it out on occasion to help pay for the rent, and still live here, but live there too. You know, it's like, okay, we've got a rental this weekend for the whole weekend, so everybody's coming back to here, and we stay here. And then when we're not in here, we're fixing it up so that it gets a better price when we sell it. But that'd be the only way to do it, is to rent that thing out on occasion, or rent one of them out. And this, nobody would rent this out. They'd be scared to death to stay in here, really. Just because it's so beat up and wobbly, you know. I mean, you move through here, and if you're unfamiliar with the place, you would think, oh my God, is the floor going to cave in? Oh my God, are the walls going to cave in? Oh my God, are we going to sink into a hole? Right? Because I get those same thoughts all the time, but I know it's just a beat up mobile home. What I wouldn't give for an acre and a little 2-bedroom house. Something cheap, but something real, not a mobile home. Or even I'd settle for a real mobile home on an acre. But the land is the big thing, because if you have a little bit of land and a dwelling already, then it's okay, right now it is, it's okay to add a little tiny home or a trailer or something, right? Turn the garage into a house. Build a garage and turn it into a house. Build a shed and turn it into a little room. You know, I've got a 10 by 12 shed that I built that's more like a little building, because it's got electricity, it's got hot and cold running water, it's got plumbing, it's got gas, it's got ventilation, it's got an air conditioner, it's got a real door that locks with a window, and it's taller than a normal metal shed. It's metal, but it's 18 inches up on a pony wall that creates more height. It's got a front wall on it that's all wood framed with a real live door on it, right? So if I had a large piece of property, I would probably create more buildings like that on the property and have them house different parts of our lives, right? Like this one's a laundry room, storage room, right? I would want to build the same thing on our piece of property, but I'd also want to build one that was my studio. So you go into it, and the inside of that shed is about the size of this room, basically. So I could turn the inside of a shed, 10 by 12, into this and recreate this in a shed. In some small building on the property, right? Turn one into a music room. Make a music room, a studio, a library, you know, just little buildings, kind of all joined together. The same thing about living in a 10,000 square foot warehouse and building within that a bunch of small buildings. If I had a little acre, I'd do the same thing. You know, walls and fences and trees and shrubs and stuff to block wind and views, and gardens and paths, and, you know, overhanging shade and stuff for summertime blues. Yeah, there's a lot that could be done outside. I don't think I'm ever going to get there, though. Not on my budget. Not as broken as I am. Maybe if I won the lottery, but you got to play to win, and I don't have the money to play. Maybe somebody else who wins the lottery can dribble out a few bucks and you know, spend $100,000 out of their $332 million and buy me an acre with a little house. And then you know what I'll do is I'll make a little tiny home on that little piece of property there just for you, so you can come and visit and have a place to stay. That's what I would do in return. If you bought me a little house and piece of property, I would make a little place there for you, so when you blew all of your lottery money on Amazon stuff, then you'd have a place to come and live. Yeah. People like me don't get that kind of stuff. People who go out and work those slave jobs for 30 years. Those are the people who have homes and mortgages and new cars and that kind of stuff. I can't work that way. My brain has never been able to work that way, right? I go out, I work the jobs, I do the jobs. I've got them for 6 months, 18 months, and I'm like, I can't fucking take this anymore. I cannot stand these people anymore. I cannot stand the bureaucracy. I cannot stand the politics, the drama. It's like I need another job. I need another employer. I need new people. I just need escape. And so many decades of that actually led me to being a self-employed handyman for like 10 years. But when I was young, I would just get so frustrated with people and employees and employers and bureaucracy and drama and bullshit that I was grateful to be homeless, living in my car and a tent, collecting cans to make ends meet. Some of the happiest days of my life were living out of my car, right? Or living in a vehicle alongside the fucking road somewhere, because it was fucking carefree, you know? What are your worries? Oh, I need gas. I need something to eat. That's it. You know, you got like minimal, basic worries. That's it. You know, that's why people live in vans now. Why people live in tiny homes and stuff, because all of their troubles come down to just a few minor details every day to take care of. I need something to eat. I might need a little propane or something, right? I might need a little fuel so I can move my vehicle to the next spot, but that's about it, you know. And the rest of the time, it's all about you. You're reading, you're hiking, you're biking, you're surfing, you know. You're making videos, you're on YouTube, you're doing whatever you normally want to do, because your time is spent more on you and less on survival. Earning a living. Ugh, I hate that fucking phrase, earning a living. Earn this, motherfuckers. So that's what led me from working the slave job for other people and working for myself, and switching to just working for myself, you know. And then it got to the point to where I don't even want to do that anymore. That is too much of me involved in that. Now it's just what's the most money I can make for the least amount of effort. Cleaning houses. You get a routine down. You get so good at cleaning that one house that it takes you so little, no matter how messy it is, it all comes down to a routine. And it becomes so fucking easy, so second nature, you know. That's where it's at. I can go over there, make the money, come home, and reinvest myself into my own life and not everybody else's. I'm not here to make somebody else rich and barely make ends meet. If I'm barely going to make ends meet, let me be doing it for me. Let me get something out of it, right? That's where I'm at now. And I get as much as my body allows me to every day. I get as much as I can out of doing for myself. Because quite honestly, at the end of the pay period, when all of your bills are paid and you've barely got enough money to make that minimum payment on your credit card so that you can use your credit card to get through the next pay period, right? What about that boss who's getting rich off of your fucking slavery? What about that? Does anyone ever think about that? Do they ever think about the guy who's making mega bucks off of your back? That's what gets me. That's what motivates me to get the fuck out of there and work for myself. Period. You know, we don't earn a lot, and therefore, you know, we quite often need help. But at the same time, we don't need help like everybody else needs it. You know, because we keep our lifestyle minimal. You know, which then allows us to not need help, because we get through those low, slow periods easier, because we have such good, great, high periods, you know, and it balances out. It balances out. We still, you know, live below the poverty line, but that's just, you know, when you don't have a lot of expenses, you don't need a lot of income. Period. You know? Period. And all the crap that I've gathered together in here is like worthless to most people. Completely worthless. But to me, this stuff is gold, This stuff is just freaking gold. I'm surrounded by gold. You know, diamonds in the rough. Yeah, it's pretty bitchin' stuff. Purty bitchin'. Purty. Well, it looks like I am going to have to think about getting my shit together and moving on. I think today's going to be all about shirts and whatever my wife wants to do as far as around the house stuff. I think she did linens yesterday. I need to do tools. I need to empty out my tool shed, clean it up, organize it, and then empty the tools out of my van and get them organized into my tool shed. I need to get some things down to the trailer shed, trailer storage, which is right behind us, and get some things stored in there for the winter, tools and materials and stuff. Get the yard cleaned up. I need to get that laundry room storage building out here cleaned up and organized, or I'm never going to get the stuff out of this room here. I've got a bunch of stuff underneath this bed. When this bed goes, that stuff has to go. I'll keep some of it here, the keyboard, the guitars, the amplifier, some of the electronic stuff, but there's a bunch of stuff that has to go out there. A box of 8 tracks, some cases of 8 tracks. There's just a ton of stuff. Totally. But, yeah. Gosh. I'm still just bouncing on clouds with those shirts. Trying to avoid tears. Yeah, so between working out in the shed, tools, and working on shirt stuff, the shirts will probably be more toward the evening, right? And try to utilize the daytime to get outside and do stuff. So I won't be working on shirts today, which means they won't be going out in the mail today, but I will have them together by tomorrow morning. Be doing them sometime this evening, so that I'll be sending out 6 or 7 or 8 packages in the mail. And thanks to the last donation that came in, I should have plenty of money left to do that. All right, people, I am going to get ready to get out of here, drum up the old end credits. Ah, yeah, baby. Ah, yeah, baby. Okay, people, so let's see. Let me turn that off. Let me bring this up and parse it at the right spot. So, if anyone out there is watching at any point, let me know if you want to make a donation and get some shirts. Just send me a message. You can send me a message any old way. You can send it here on YouTube, send a comment, hey, send me a message, and I'll send you a message. And then we can talk about it. Yeah, super excited. All right, let me go ahead and roll this. Okay, people, I am going to get out of here for the day. I hope that you have a good evening, a good day. I will try to have my best. As always, be nice, be kind, spread peace and love, not bullshit. Be nice to each other. Do something for yourself, but do something for somebody else too, because we're not alone, all right? But most especially, stay weird, because if you ain't weird, nobody's going to be weird for you. All right, people, thank you very much for joining me. T-shirts! I will see you tomorrow morning for the last show of the week. And All right, love ya. Adios. Take care. Bye now.